And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a game called Night Eternal. Now this is a really weird decision for box size. This doesn't say game, and if it does say game, it looks really dark, and it looks like a DVD collection set, actually, the size of the box. And it's based on True Blood, although I think it's based on True Blood, the book series? I don't know, because the people who played it with me, who watched the show, said that they didn't really recognize any of the people in the game. But it's based on the HBO series True Blood. Now, I got to be perfectly upfront here. I have never watched True Blood. I have zero, actually negative desire to see the show. But from what I can tell, the theme of this game is really kind of minuscule anyway. It's based on an older game called Three Dragon Ante. And so it's kind of, I guess you could play it without caring, even though you are going to call things blood and have these different vampires in the game. It's basically a card-playing type game. Let's talk about the game, how it plays, and then we'll come back here. Okay, so you have a lot of these beads here. So if the game doesn't work out, you have enough stuff here for at least a fish tank. I mean, look at this. I mean, a nice goldfish bowl anyway. Anyhow, this is blood. So you have different denominations, 1s, 5s, and 10s. And each player is going to take 15 blood for every other player in the game. So if you're, or for every player in the game. So if you're playing a 4-player game, you would take 60 blood each. Okay, so that's a lot of blood. Anyhow, each player is also going to get a double-sided token here, the authority or the monarchy. And then players are going to be drawing from 2 decks of cards here. We have your agents, and then we have these immortals. So you get 1 of these, and you'll get 5 of these. Then at the beginning of a round, you're going to turn over the top immortal card. So when we turn over an immortal card, we'll look at the card. So here, for example, this is an authority, immortal, and he's worth 10. Everything else in the card doesn't matter. What that means is each player needs to ante 10 blood to the authority. So let's say there's 4 players playing, there's 40 blood at the authority. Each player then also has to ante half that amount of blood to the monarchy. So the other one. So you can see that they're basically, think of this as you're trying to win one of 2 areas. If you win this one, you're going to get 40 blood. And if you win this one, you're going to get 20 blood. Players are then going to play 3 rounds. Each player, starting with 1 player, is going to play a card from their hand. They can play an agent or an immortal. When they play the card, whichever card they play first, so let's say I play this one as an authority, I will instantly put this in front of me to show that I'm on the authority side. Okay? If I'm the first person each round to play a card, I also get to take the action on the card. For example, this one here says, if you have 1 or more monarchy cards in play, steal 5 blood from the monarchy blood stakes and draw an immortal card. So if I already had a monarchy card in play, I could take 5 blood from here, steal it, and I would get an immortal card. That's a pretty cool thing. So the first person gets to play their action. Every person after that, the action goes off if their number of the card they play is equal to or less than the card of the person who just played before them. Once everybody has played 1 card, so let's say these are the 4 cards that were played. We have an 8, a 2, a 12, and a 5 card that have been played. Then we look at all the numbers, and the highest untied number is the first player of the next round. So let's say this person had also been an 8, then these 2 would have tied, and a 5 would have gone first next round. So everyone will play a card for the second round. Now let's say on my second round, I decide that I'm going to play a 7 monarchy card. Now, I still have an 8 authority, so I stay on the authority side. But on the third round, if I played a 5 monarchy card, I now have 12 in monarchy, and so I would switch to the monarchy side. Whatever side you're higher in, that's the side that you're going to switch to. Everybody's going to play 3 cards. And again, you can play immortal cards or regular agent cards. The difference is immortal cards are usually better, and there's different ways to get these cards. After everyone has played these cards, whoever has the highest total for the monarchy is going to get all the blood at the monarchy. Whoever has the highest total for the authority is going to get all the blood at the authority. If there's a tie for either one of those, then it all stays there, and you will add to it and go, and the next turn is going to even be more valuable. And you're going to keep going. Now, at some point, somebody is going to run out of blood. And if they're still out of blood at the end of their turn, then the game is over and whoever has the most blood wins. You can also go into what's called blood debt. Let's say someone plays a card that says you must pay someone 10 blood, and I only have 5. I'll say, okay, fine. So I pay them 5, and then I have a blood debt of 5. And at the end of the round, if I win, let's say I won the monarchy, I would get to keep 15 of that, but I'd have to pay my blood debt of 5. So you always have to pay any debts that you have off. You also will draw a card at the end of your turn. If you have no cards, you'll draw back up to 5. But many of the cards, the different special abilities, will allow you to get cards. Let's take a brief look at some of the special abilities. This card lets me steal a random agent card from the foe who has the strongest alliance. That means they have the strongest combination for either the authority or the monarchy. Then that foe bleeds 2 blood out of the game. Here, this card allows me, if at least 2 players favor the monarchy, all the players who favor the monarchy can draw an immortal card. This card here says move blood from the monarchy blood stakes to the authority blood stakes equal to the number of cards in your hand. Tell a foe of your choice to draw an agent card, then you draw an immortal card. Or I can put 5 blood on the authority blood stakes. If I do, I get to draw an immortal card. Well, what are these immortal cards? Let's take a look at some of these. Here's the Executioner. It lets me kill a card that's strength 7 or less. Or use the ability of an even strength card in play. Or count the number of foes who have only authority cards in play. Draw that many immortal cards. Or resolve all abilities on the remaining cards you play this battle. Or reveal any card in your hand and use its ability. So there's a lot of cool things. Also, I should mention that if you ever play 3 cards of the same type, this is called a triad, I believe. I forget the technical term for it. A trinity. When this happens, you will look at the middle number of the 3 cards you played. In this case, it's an 8. And everybody has to pay you that much blood immediately. So there is a benefit to playing 3 cards that are the same. Anyway, whoever has most blood when someone runs out of the game is the winner. As I said, the theme does nothing for me, and I'm kind of appalled. How's this going to sell? I just don't see this. It's sitting on the shelf. Who's going to buy this? It looks so dull and lifeless. And the game itself, all these dark colors. Maybe the True Blood, oh, yes, I like to see all this darkness in the game. I don't know, because the game isn't that way. The game is like a light card game. The game itself is interesting. Okay, as I said that, I could see people go, oh, because, that's interesting. Well, but really, that's where we're at. It's not a bad game. You get to play cards and can, maybe use the special abilities and stuff. But it's a little random because of the cards you get, and when you play them, you're like, aha, I'm gonna play this. Oh, you have a higher card than me. It's like a complicated trick-taking game. And I don't mind the anting stuff, the different spots, and then winning all that. That's a cool concept. But at the same time, there's so many special abilities. You have to stop and pause and play this. Hang on, I'm doing this. Okay, you did that. Now let me think. Should I do this? And it plays a little slower than I think it should. It's neat that there are so many different special abilities. I showed you a few of them. There's tons. They all do all these different things. But none of them really make the game that strategic. It's like, ooh, you can move blood to here, and you can do this to that, and you can switch cards over here, and you can do, and all these cool sounding things, but they don't actually give you any strategic or tactical options. You're just kind of doing them. I can draw a card. Oh, that's a great option. Wow, you did a cool thing there. Well, yeah, but I want to draw a card. I mean, what other options do I have? I guess sometimes you'll sit there and go, I'll play a lower card deliberately losing so I can use this ability. That's a cool choice to make. But often you're better off playing the higher cards so you can get all the blood from the pile, because that's how you win the game. It's interesting. The components are fine. These glass beads, I mock them, the fishbowl thing, but they do work for this game, especially since they're being passed around so often. The rest of the game, though, has this very dark, dingy look to it. And you say, Vasel, that is the True Blood motif. Well, maybe, but I'm a gamer. And this is not the kind of game that I would really be able to attract people with. I should be able to attract people to a game even if they may not be interested in the theme. For example, Battlestar Galactica. Not everyone likes Battlestar Galactica, but I can get people who don't really care for the show to play the game because the game is so much fun and it looks bright, inviting, and interesting. This one, it doesn't look interesting, and if people aren't True Blood fans, and I'm assuming that many people, dare I say most, aren't, I mean, obviously there's a subset of people who love this game, but are those people going to play this and then be disappointed that it doesn't have it? Okay, I guess I'm getting too much on the theme, but I think the theme permeates the look of the game. And the game, I think, should be more of this brightly colored boom, boom, boom. But because I have to say the authority and the monarchy and the immortals, and you're saying all this terminology, I think it hurts the game a little bit. Now, that being said, it plays okay. With 3, it seems like it's best with 4. 3 was a little, well, you win that one, and you win that one. It plays very differently because one person's going to go for the authority or the monarchy, and the other 2 are going to fight over the other one. I guess all 3 could fight over the same one, but why wouldn't you take the free one if you have that opportunity? And so, I'm going to say no in this game, and I'll tell you why. I think the game is fine, but I think you should hunt down 3 Dragon Ante and play that one because the theme is, like I said, I think more suitable for the game. This just, I mean, you have this on your shelf and you bring it out and say, hey guys, you want to play this? And your guest will be out the door before you open the box. So, nah. But if you have been given this game, maybe you are a fan of the TV show or genre, then play it. I think you'll enjoy it, but realize it's not a game of vampires and darkness and all that sort of stuff. It's a game about It's like a slow game of poker with special abilities.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
At the door.
Yeah?